Hey, welcome to Men on Scandal. This is our weekly show where we take a look at each episode of Scandal from a male perspective. In Washington, D.C. is Troy Johnson.
My mouth is not moving.
So right now he's audio only as we work through the technical difficulties. He's actually a professional ventriloquist.
That's right.
Right. In New York City is Mark Clark.
Thank you.
And I'm Tony Scott in Dallas. So this episode is called Yes. And we start out again like we did last week with Sally Langston, showing the pics of Olivia Pope and President Fitzgerald Grant kicking it in a tight embrace and all that kind. Why don't they just shut her down, though? I mean, she murdered her husband. How come they don't remind her of that? You know, you killed your husband. You know, you need to back down.
Well, Tony,
because that information could easily come out.
Tony, Washington is filled with people who've killed people who still keep it going.
But I mean,
there's a rich history of murderers who run our country.
Okay.
Tony,
The Clintons.
Tony, that's season 6.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, my bad, man.
You're telling.
President
Vince Foster. Sorry.
So Abby tells Liz the president is about to get poped. Well, what does that mean? Does that mean?
You know what it means.
You know what it means?
No, I mean he got popped. But he get poped.
Yeah, Pope, baby.
He's going to get what Olivia Pope gives to everybody else. Not what she's been giving to him lately.
Okay. Got you.
Yes.
Yeah. Got you.
And Fitz for this we should go on record for saying in that scene he needed to simmer down now.
Yeah.
Slow your roll, Fitz. Fitz is always too much.
Yes.
He's reactionary, man. He doesn't think things through too much.
No. That's a fine characteristic for a president.
Olivia shows up at Quinn's apartment. Quinn's got like a gun at the door. I mean,
yeah.
Who can live that life? Who lives that life, man? But
Quinn is about that life.
Yeah, I guess she is, man. So Olivia goes in there and Olivia says, I need to work. So what client do we have? She wants to go back to work.
Did Olivia smell a T-shirt and then throw it aside? Did I see that? And was that her T-shirt or Quinn's T-shirt?
I think it was Quinn's T-shirt. She was at Quinn's apartment.
You can't just be smelling other people's clothes. You don't know what's going to happen. Let me tell you something.
That's keeping it real, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. You know what it is?
We expect Olivia. You are a sour towel, but we expect.
Sour towel Clark there.
We expect Olivia to be so buttoned up that
That's true.
She's Hollywood all the time. But she's keeping it real.
Well,
check that T-shirt.
And I'll remind you guys that you can imagine this scene when Allison told me to smell the girls' clothes to see if they're dirty or not. You know what happened in that scene? Oh hell to the no, I won't. These little funky, no. I could detect some sense that'll leave you crippled.
We're going to have to, when we have time one day, we're going to have to hear Mark's sour towel story.
No.
He's got this problem with towels. But anyway.
You sour towel people know who you are at work.
So Mellie goes to see Fitz looking for an apology.
Yeah.
She was right.
She was right because she did tell him, you outed Olivia.
Yes.
You're the one who put her out there, and she's just not your mistress. She's America's mistress. It's like, damn. I guess that is true, huh?
It's America's hoe.
And Mellie has plans to fix it. She has the plan already ready to go in motion. Just say the magic words. And he does his magic words. He tells her to get out because Fitz accuses her of leaking the pictures to Sally.
I love it when Mellie has these moments of clarity because you really do see that she's actually pretty smart.
Yeah.
And you see how dumb Fitz is. Dude, she's actually making a whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
It's bigger than this. We're talking about legacy. We're talking about a scandal in the presidency. And all he could say is, you're just thinking about your own run for the office.
Right.
No. We're
a
team.
All.
Yeah, we're a team.
In those moments, I'm proud that she's Tony's fantasy woman.
Yeah.
He's going with emotion.
Yeah.
You got to take emotion out of it.
Right.
And he just for some reason can't do that, especially when it comes to Olivia. So Abby wants the president to give a statement, and of course he says, "I'm not giving a statement without Olivia."
Right.
And then she says, "Well, will the first lady give us a statement?" And then I think he gives her the side eye because
she said, "Will the first lady give a statement?" He said, "Here's my statement to you, a middle finger. Get out of my office."
And then the Vice President Susan comes in, and she can't even believe that he had an affair. She keeps saying that, I know they can doctor those pictures. I got a friend of mine who can doctor pictures really quickly and everything. Not that she would, but she would. But she would, but because she didn't, and this and that. She's rambling and bumbling through words and everything. And Mango, it was she was just, but then, he says, so he says something that pretty much confirms the fact that he did have an affair, and she doesn't know what to say.
Yeah, she was
until later in the episode.
Heartbroken.
She just caught completely off guard.
That's the look that you don't want any woman to ever give you as a father or a husband. That disappointment.
Yeah, the disappointment look. Yeah,
you disappointed me.
So Huck shows up at Olivia's office claiming that he's fixed. Jake fixed him. And Quinn, of course, doesn't believe that for a minute.
No.
Right? So they go to work on the case, which is a case about a young man accused of murdering his father. In the meantime, David goes to Mellie's office to examine her computers, and she goes in on David. David's just trying to follow orders, and she's calling him just basically a shyster divorce lawyer, and she just went in on him, and he's like, what did I do? I'm just trying to figure out.
Just doing my job.
She ain't got nothing to hide. What's the problem? You got nothing to hide. So she finally gives him the computer saying, "I got nothing to hide." Meantime, Olivia Pope is on the road. Where she go to Arkansas or something? Fayetteville? Is it North Carolina or Fayetteville, Arkansas?
North Carolina.
North Carolina. Okay, she's in North Carolina. She's at the pawn shop, and she tells the pawn shop guy, if he comes by, call me, and she gives the name Ruth. And so he calls her, "Okay, Ruthie."
She did give that old black name, though. He had a girlfriend named Ruth. Oh, Lord, I had a girlfriend named Ruth. Ruth, Maybell, Mabel. There was...
Man.
Anna Jean.
Yeah. Anna Jean. Anna Mae. Eat the cake, Anna Mae.
Right.
So Olivia finds Gavin, the guy who's run from the law, being accused of killing his father.
How old was this guy supposed to be?
I don't know, but he...
Man, it was a hard 21 if that was the case. That, and he looked like he should have been on the Big Bang Theory. Like, what is going on?
He thinks she's a hooker.
Yeah.
And then he thinks she's a bounty hunter, and he tells her, I think I could take you. I think I could get away. I think I could take you. And then, Jake shows up, and that kind of puts the end to that conversation.
Yes.
A reporter gets in Olivia Pope's offices, Pope and Associates, with a video camera asking questions, and they're like, Quinn and Huck are like, "How'd you get in here?" And Huck wants the camera, and the dude don't want to give her the camera. So what did Huck pick up, a pencil or a nail file?
Yeah.
He took a pencil. That's all you need.
He was getting ready to go in, man.
You a bad mother when somebody, he got a pencil. Let's get scared. Oh, Lord, he got a pencil.
So Quinn disarms the reporter, takes his camera, and says, you can either leave or my dude here. He can take care of it, right? And, of course, Huck has that look that only Huck has.
And Troy would have if we only had him today. And
yeah.
The video.
The video.
Sorry.
We didn't have video Troy today.
Troy, do it, Troy, without the, let's see if your face moves. No.
Doing it right now.
That's it, man. It still works.
Did that work for you guys?
It worked, man.
Yeah,
thank you.
That worked, man. So Cyrus is watching all this from the sidelines because he's not in the circle anymore. So he's at the house, and he's talking to Abby. He tells Abby to be the adult, and he keeps telling her be the adult. She has no idea what that means. She's ready to call Mango.
Yes.
Call a mango. What'd you say? A mango is when people talk and they're not making any sense.
Yeah, you're not making any sense in our household. That's what the word mango, you can't understand what someone says. So yes, Tony. Yes.
Now, the sidebar. Mark is going to owe Kevin Hart some money because it's basically a play off of pineapples.
There you go. Well, my wife, they did it without me being. I wasn't there. I wasn't there.
You would have chosen some other fruit, right?
They made it up without me. Okay, that's another story.
Now, Abby was listening to Cyrus talk about this. He's saying POTUS is the child. You got to make him eat his vegetables. You got to burp him at the end of the night and make sure that they put all their toys away at the end of. And Abby said something that we all realize, that Cyrus is a terrible parent.
Yes.
Poor Ella. Oh, poor Ella.
Again, Cyrus is giving out advice. We still haven't seen Ella.
Yes.
Nowhere to be found.
The creators have actually docked Ella, because she's not yet appeared this year, so she get money taken away from her contract. We thought we'd use you more.
She owes the show some money.
So as it turns out, it looks right now that everybody's starting to believe this Gavin guy about his stepmom. His stepmom was considerably younger than his father, and there was a really strict prenup. And if she got caught messing around, she wouldn't get a dime. And he said she was messing around, and they look into it. Turns out she's messing around with some restaurant guy.
Damn.
And so they're saying, well, maybe she had something to do with it. And then it's interesting because then Gavin sees Olivia Pope on TV and he figures out what's going on. He's like, I'm not the only one who's on the run.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is very true. Huck, meantime, with Quinn, he gets mad at Quinn because Quinn just goes in on him. And he's trying to trying to keep calm and stuff, and so he just gets up and leaves because
He went to the store to get some more pencils. He's gonna come back. I'm gonna mess you up when I get back from Walmart.
Right. So Abby's having this press conference, and she tells the press, basically, she takes a page from what Cyrus said, and she tells them that Mellie is living at the White House, and everything is fine.
You're right.
And the president sees that, and he's like, "Why would she say that? I'm trying to get out from under this marriage. Why would she say everything's fine and Mellie's living here?" So he's livid about that, right? And back to Gavin and Olivia and Jake. They're at a diner, right? And you could see that Gavin's trying to figure out a way to get away from them.
Yes.
He's trying to get away, and so he has to go to the bathroom. And then he tells one of the other diners, "That's Olivia Pope over there," right? And so of course, she's a celebrity. So what do people do these days? They try and get selfies with Olivia Pope.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm buying the Jake's skill set would have prevented all this craziness from happening.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's killed people in front of people. He's killed dictators. You can't work on a damn, group of moms who are happy to see Olivia Pope. I don't know. Come on, man.
There was a bottleneck in the cafe. I mean,
and there were some. You notice now, they cast the fans they were all fat too. They were like they were blocking. The ladies were the same weight as the Redskins front line. That's Olivia Pope. Ooh, that's Olivia Pope. Okay.
I was trying to say that in a more gentle way by you calling it a bottleneck, but you just went on and took it there, huh?
Sorry.
Okay.
So Gavin's able to sneak out, by the way. So he does leave. He steals a car and he's on the road, and
That's right, because Big Bang Theory starts at 9 p.m. on CBS.
Get some of that Big Bang money.
Yeah. Cyrus makes a good point because Abby actually went to visit Cyrus as opposed to the phone conversation they had earlier. And Cyrus tells Abby, "You need to tell the president what Olivia's going to do because you know Olivia better than anybody. So you need to tell him what the plan is because you know what it is."
Yeah. He also told her she was doing a good job. Huh?
Well,
what?
He also asked her what was that bump above her lip.
Well, you know what?
Ow.
Hey, what's that? Oh, my bad. Anyway.
Damn.
So the vice president goes into the Oval to talk to the president, and the president says, "I need you to fill in for me tomorrow." She goes, "Well, I can't because I got some college students coming and for a visit and all this, and it's already planned out and everything's laid out." And he says, "You have to reschedule." And he flexes on her a little bit, like, "I'm your boss." And she goes, "Yes, sir." And then she goes, "No, sir." And she goes in on Fitz.
Yes.
She says, "Do you ever think about us?" The American people, do you think about us when you're having an affair inside the White House? Do you think about us?
Ouch! Ouch!
No.
No, I do not.
Like, you know, he says that would have been funny if he just said, "No, I don't." Actually,
No.
But he says, "You know what? I'm flawed like everyone else." And she says, "You don't get to be flawed like everyone else.
You're the president. You got to be better than that.
Yeah, you signed up for this job,
Yeah.
man. You know, great point. It was a great point.
Yeah, that's true.
But under his breath,
You
he
know-
said, "Nappy dugout." What? Never mind. See you later.
What in the hell? What? I guess I missed that. I must have looked away when he said
Yeah.
that.
Very,
I'm glad.
under low, very low under the breath.
Okay. All right. All right.
So David has concluded his investigation, and he tells the president, and the president says it don't matter. So basically, David wasted whatever, 20 minutes on the investigation.
But there was a key point there. He said that the leak came from Mellie's computer.
Yeah, he did say the leak came from Mellie's computer, but there's no evidence that the pictures are on Mellie's computer.
That's true.
You know, so Fitz calls Mellie and apologizes and tells her to come home. You know, and Jake and Olivia, by the way, they do find Gavin.
Yes.
And he's got this. He's holed up in the house he was building that his dad wouldn't give him the money to finish. He's got a nail gun. This is what he's trying to fend them off with. And of course, you know, Jake's like, he's not having any of that. You know, he just,
No.
you know, the guy's a wuss, and Jake just, you know, has his way with him.
You know what?
David read Mellie's emails, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Tony, let me go back to Gavin.
Yeah.
What people don't
G.
understand, G. Freezy. What people don't understand is, you know who Gavin would have been if his daddy didn't give him the money?
Who?
Donald Trump. But Donald's dad gave him the money to build his house and continue.
Well, that's true. That's true. So Fitz and Mellie decide to do the interview. They're going to do an interview explaining all this about the alleged affair and all that. And I think they're going to go with what Mellie said. Olivia's a close friend. She was actually here with her boyfriend. You know, says, no, you guys have taken something to run with it, and it's not even true. I think that's the angle she was going to work. You guys overreacted to what you guys think you saw.
It was
Which
all a
doesn't
dream.
Which doesn't explain, you know, the embrace and things like that. So Abby figures out, though, that Liz is the one who leaked the photos. Right? She had access. She was running Mellie's campaign, so she had access to Mellie's computer, had the login information and everything. So she figures out Liz is the one who leaked the photos to Sally for Sally's Liberty Report. And Abby just wants to be equals with Liz.
Boy, I tell you. I like Elizabeth because I find her to be a handsome woman. But she's been through, remember, she had a cat of nine tails dragged across her back last season.
Oh, damn.
She's been abused and ridden rough.
Yeah.
So her instinct is to always be, she's grimy at every opportunity.
Yeah.
And she couldn't believe that Abby was like, hey, let's just be equals and work together.
Or I can try and make you my bitch.
Yeah,
I can go either way.
I could make you my bitch, but I'd much rather work with you.
Yeah.
Abby represents the civil rights movement. When it had the opportunity, what do you want? Well, we'll take equality. Great. Yes, equality.
Yeah,
equality.
that'll work.
Yeah, equality. Great. Yeah.
Sure,
Yeah.
whatever.
No, that was the wrong. Don't
the
ever
wrong
ask
answer.
Equality.
Man.
Put your foot on their neck while you got them.
That's it.
So we're back with Jake and Olivia and Gavin. And Gavin, as it turns out, did kill his father.
Yep.
He did kill him. He pushed him down the stairs and killed his father. And then he hears the sirens, and because Olivia tells him, Olivia, of all people, Olivia Pope tells Gavin, there's no more running.
Right.
Really? Seriously? Really? She's the one that had to deliver that line? Really? And what did she do? she ran.
Tony, that was symbolism.
Is that what it was?
She delivered the line, and then suddenly it all became clear in her mind that, you know what, I can't run too. I can't allow this little nerd to run if I'm running.
Right.
So we all have to stop running.
Okay.
Give it up for Gavin and the white male privilege. Hey, Is that the cops? You called the cops? What? Meanwhile, every black man's hair in the back of their neck went up when they oh shit. Oh, it's a TV show. My bad.
Oh no.
Are those the cops? Whoop, 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 whoop. I'm in New York now, Tony.
So Quinn finds Huck in a bar, and she talks to him, and basically she tells him, I'm basically just like you. I'm just don't have the killer instinct you have, but crime scenes make me hot.
Yeah.
It's like,
is it just me, or did you guys think it was going down with them?
Yeah,
in the bar.
I think it's still. I mean, maybe not at the bar, but it's still going to happen, though.
Yeah.
I think it's going to happen. So Fitz doesn't want Olivia to throw her life away for him. So he tells her, Mellie's moving back in, and we're going to move forward, and I don't want you to throw your life away for me. So we're going to deny that this ever happened, and nothing. Everything is like what it was, and everything, and And of course, and then we cut to Aretha Franklin's "Do Right Woman, Do Right Man."
Yeah.
Perfect song, right?
Yeah.
Perfect song.
It's true.
Perfect song. Do they have like a music director or something? They come on. I mean, they play great music all the time, but sometimes, man, those things, it just explains the whole moment emotionally when they play songs like that.
I think it's Shonda Rhimes, man. I think it's
Yeah.
Shonda Rhimes' own collection.
Well,
so.
a lot of people don't know that Shonda Rhimes is related to Busta Rhymes. So, music is in the family.
Who knew?
You didn't know that, did you?
I didn't know that. See? What's that? Now that's going to show up as a rumor now.
But,
So,
and actually, no relation to Rhyme Fest.
You lost Tony, but I'm with you, Mark. I'm with you, brother.
Thank
I'm
you,
with
Troy.
Yeah. Obscure, but I'm with you.
I don't know, man.
It was a gamble, but I'm with you.
So Olivia and Jake pull up in front of Pope and Associates' office, and Olivia's ready to face the music. And she gets out. She crosses the street. The media sees her. The press sees her, and of course they come down on her, asking her all kinds of questions. And the only question she hears right before she goes into the building: "Are you the president's mistress?" Mm-hmm. That's the only question she hears. Now it's been laid out already. Fitz says Mellie's going to move back in. We're going to make this right. You don't have to live as a mistress. We're going to say this, get you off the hook and everything. And the reporter says, "Are you the president's mistress?" And Olivia Pope says, "Yes." Now, why would she do that?
Because she's been watching Empire.
Yeah,
she decided that she'd just do the complete polar opposite after fixing a situation. Because that's what they do on that show.
Yeah.
that's a great. That's a great point. That's a great point, Troy. And if we're honest, I think their second episode was better than Empire's second episode.
Oh well.
So they're still in the fight as far as viewers are going. You know what I mean?
I have a point.
Yeah.
If you're coming back to both shows, I think Scandal is back on its legs and moving in the right direction. I think Empire is kind of like, you're kind of like, okay, come on, episode 3.
Yeah. I mean, are we going to get guest stars every week on Empire? Is that the deal?
It feels kind of a little bit, disjointed, whereas Scandal's back in its formula.
Yeah.
I read something yesterday. It says Beyonce may be making an appearance on Scandal.
Now, wait a minute.
Now, wait a minute. The president's new mistress? What the hell?
Damn, Tony. It's too early for me to be thinking like that.
I know. I'm thinking about that Dance For Me song now. That dance, Beyonce was never sexy, but that Dance For Me song, when she said something about watch it or something, I'm like, woo, girl, you
put
crazy.
my body on your body.
Yeah.
Tonight it's going down. What is that? What is that? So that's how the episode ends, when she says yes to the question, "Are you the president's mistress?"
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
But
go ahead.
Go ahead, Mark.
I was gonna say, well, you know what? And once again, y'all know what we're gonna say. Poor Jake.
Yes.
Ain't nothing worse than cuddling up with the love of your life that you've been rocking with for a long time.
And it's let me piggyback on that, Mark, because they obviously have a connection, because she said, "Do you mind if I?"
Yeah, yeah.
You know, when you don't finish a sentence, he knew
Yeah.
exactly what was going on. I was like,
Spooning.
poor Jake.
Damn, you're right, Troy. When you can, oh, you're right. That point's even when you can finish each other's sentences, but you ain't the main dude. Damn.
Yeah.
You sitting at a bar somewhere, and we would even finish each other's sentences.
Right.
Did she come with you? No, she went with Fitz. Damn it! And so you all cuddled up in bed. You know how you get cuddled up, and she puts a little, she got all cuddled
booty
and warmed
on it.
up. Yeah, and then you laying there like, yeah, and then you start talking about somebody else. Oh no! But he's like, fine. I just spend my life fixing crazy over here. Who needs to shave, by the way?
Well, All right. So what did I miss, fellas?
I think you got it all, Tony. That was nicely done.
No, thank you, man.
It was
Appreciate
in
that.
a condensed form. It was in a nutshell. Thank you, Tony.
Yes.
Shout out to my Spanish teacher who should always say that. Thank you, Tony.
Wow, my program director says that.
Does he?
You need to be in a nutshell. Needs to be, concise. So it's one of those things, man.
Anybody?
Yeah.
Troy, you have a.
I never had a nutshell analogy, but I was thinking though, Mark, your Spanish teacher said put it in a nutshell, but she didn't say it in Spanish, did she?
No, she did not.
I thought I was going to learn the Spanish word for nutshell.
No, you ain't gonna learn today. And Troy, sadly, Tony can't tell us the word.
Yes, Tony.
Get Maria on the phone, please.
I didn't even bother asking him. I already knew what was up with that.
Yeah, you went straight to Mark, man.
My bad, Tony. Viva la raza.
What does that mean?
Mi familia, man. We cool. We cool.
Gotcha.
We good.
So that's the episode. If you want to leave a comment, that'd be great. If you want to share it, that'd be awesome. If you want to just help us spread the video all over the world, that would be just bananas, man. That would just be great.
Why not?
And
why not?
I didn't mean that little joke on Abby. Abby, we know some beauty mark. We all have them. I'm sorry.
That bothered you, huh?
I'm not. Sometimes I'm mean spirited in my jokes, but I really don't mean it.
Okay. That's what your mouth say. That's what the bump over your mouth said.
All right, that's enough. Hey, thanks so much for watching Men on Scandal, our recap of every episode of Scandal from a male point of view. All right, for Mark Clark in New York City and Troy Johnson in Washington, D.C., I'm Tony Scott in Dallas, and we'll see you again real soon.
And watch Men on Empire and Men on Everything while you're at it.
Yeah, you can do that too.
Thank you, Troy.
You're welcome.
Picture Troy. Thanks, Picture Troy.
You're welcome. My mouth isn't moving.